Hey guys, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about how you're going to track progress out of the gym. So in the gym we've got things such as the weights are going up, you're able to recover better, that kind of thing. But outside of the gym it's really important that we can make sure that we're tracking and we're making the kind of progress that we want to make. So for many people the one big variable that they've got is scales. So every week, every other day, even every day, people could be stepping on the scales and tracking what they weigh. This isn't a true representation of progress. So it's not taking into consideration stress levels, sleep patterns, water retention, have you just eaten, all these kind of things. So you could get on the scales in the morning and you can be a completely different weight at the end of the day. So even though scales can be a good indication of progress, not all the time. So there are other things that we can be doing on a weekly, every other week to make sure that we're tracking progress. Now the first one is really simple. People don't like to do it, but it's really simple, but you could be doing this every 2 weeks, is taking photos, okay? Taking good quality photos in the same light, in the same place you did them previously, and getting someone to take photos from front, side and back, and every 2 weeks, and just start looking at different changes that your body is doing. So you could be a little bit slimmer around the waist. If you're looking at building more muscle, your shoulders may have changed. You may have a bit more definition in your arms, in your chest, glutes, whatever it may be. But pictures are fantastic, and alongside that obviously is just looking at yourself in the mirror and actually trying to see visually, are you changing and are you making progress. But really taking photos is a fantastic way of checking that. Now the next thing we can do, and this can be on and off, so not all the time. Again, we're going to look at every 2 weeks probably, is actually getting a tape measure and actually start taking some measurements. Now, measurements can be slightly different because we might not be always getting the correct position. But there are some little tips that we could do to make sure that you are getting it as close as possible. So the first one we can take is your arm, and I always try and do my left arm, okay? Try and stay with the same side. So taking the circumference of your arm and make sure the tape measure is in between your elbow and your shoulder, okay? The next place is your waist. Now again, people's waists are all at different positions. What I like to do is find the narrowest area and measure that. The next one is your hips. Now it might not necessarily be your hips, because if we're visualizing, we're going widest area, it might be a little bit lower. So measure the widest area, okay, and the narrowest area, all right? And then we have the leg. So again, pick the same leg and make sure that the tape measure is in between your hip and your knee. So that is measurements, and that's a great way. So again, I'll say every 2 weeks. Now, the third thing that we can do is, if you can get some calipers like this, good quality calipers, we can actually start to take a caliper reading. Now, this isn't going to give our overall body fat percentage. To do that, we need to take multiple areas and we need to calculate that. But a very simple way is actually taking your body fat fold above your hip. So find your hip bone, just come above that, and above the hip you will find some stored body fat. This is a place that many people store their body fat. Now what you need to do is grab the body fat, not too much, go too low in and get muscle, but you want to get the body fat and you need to get a reading from your calipers there. This is going to give us something to track our body fat, and if this number is coming down, we know we're on the right tracks. And this could be done once a week. So I would say Friday morning, get up, take your caliper readings, take that one caliper reading above your hip and make sure that that number is coming down. If it's not, then we need to do something about that. All right, and then lastly, we have scales. Now, many people have a bad relationship with scales, and if you have, I want you to stay away from them and use the other variables that we've been speaking about. But if you are using scales, then a maximum of once per week, and again, a Friday morning, just check what it's doing. Okay, it needs to be the same day at the same time to get a regular reading, and it's going to give us a true outcome. But only if you have a good relationship with scales. If it's something that knocks you off and you have a bad day, depending on what the scales have said, I would leave it alone and go along with the other readings that we've spoke about. Another great thing to track is clothes. How are your clothes feeling? Are they feeling a better fit? Are you even having to go and change to a different size? All right, so this is a very simple thing, but it's overlooked and people don't realize all the time. But our clothes feeling? Is your waistband on your jeans or your trousers starting to feel more comfortable? Are your arms starting to feel a little bit different in your tops? That kind of thing. So track how you're feeling and how you're looking in your clothes. Okay guys, so there's a few things that I want you to be doing every other week or every week, and this will give you a great understanding of progress.